Hello everybody and welcome back to our channel. In this video, I'll guide you through the virtual IP address configuration process. We have cluster with 2 nodes and using Notakey command line interface, I will add virtual IP address to the cluster. And do not forget to assign network interface for VRRP. In order to make the service to understand when it has to release the IP address and pass it to other node, we have to set trackers. Basically, those trackers are just scripts what runs at preset intervals. Most common choice for general tracking is just to track authentication service and disk usage. Next very important value is priority. If one of trackers we set previously will enter the state fault, service will be passed over to the next node with the highest priority value. By default, multicast is used for communication between nodes. If multicast service is not available on transport layer, please configure cluster members with virtual IP service manually. The last value to make VRRP service to work is virtual router ID. This value should be the same for all nodes what shares the same virtual IP address. Okay, now we can start the service. Let's check the status, and it's up and running. Okay, let's configure now the second machine, and in this case the only difference will be priority value, where I'm going to set it higher than for the previous machine. Okay, let's start service now. And check the status. Sometimes in our real life scenarios, we need to use more than just one virtual IP address. And there is no limitations built regarding that in Notakey Appliance. To configure many IP addresses, we have to write values directly into configuration file. This file has specific structure, and the most straightforward way how to do this is to upload the pre-made JSON. Okay, let's make file for this configuration command and copy it from Notakey documentation website. The only thing I'm going to change here is IP address. My first virtual IP address is already configured, so now I'm going to add the second one, especially for authentication proxy needs. As you can see here, we have new tracker port, and port doesn't have default value, so we have to configure it. And this port tracker script will check the standard radius port in 20-second intervals. To apply new configuration, we have to restart the service. And as you can see now, we have two virtual IP addresses. So the next machine will be with higher priority, and I'm going to change this value. Okay, for second machine, we just repeat the same steps. Very good. As you can see now, we have two virtual IP addresses. So we can start to redirect traffic to both of them. So let's say single sign-on requests and Windows credential provider requests all will go to one address, and all the traffic for radius authentication to other address. That's all for now, and thank you for watching.